there was a couple of things that I missed out on the video that I just made, which is that the Shannon person who died, the Charmed girl who played the oldest sister of the Charmed girls, who she died. But she looks very similar to My Angel of the Bullet, and Thomas's songs. Thomas McDonald, who is the Angel of Negativity, he did a song, which is quite a good song about bits you missed. Okay, he blamed the left, he blamed the right, but I feel like there is actually truth to that because I don't know him blaming the right. I don't feel like it means the right party, the left and the right party. I think I don't know, but just things like that just make me feel like my higher self did set this up, and it's I've seen enough signs to think that she did, and then if I was trying to think about why she would do this, not to aim, not to kill Donald Trump or anything. I think if Thomas would say to My Angel of the Bullet, bitch, you missed, I think she would respond back saying, no, I didn't. Because, nothing happened. Donald Trump didn't die. I think there needs to be a serious warning taken from this, which is that there are some dangerous people in your country. And therefore you shouldn't relax and you shouldn't think that, that this was just a publicity stunt set up by God. No, don't think that, because maybe God set this up because God knows who would want that. I mean, if something like this happens, I know what my higher self would do. My higher self would look inside the minds of every single person, or every single person that I could reach, and just think, what are they thinking? Are they thinking, oh, I wish I would have done that, or I wish he would have scored, or I wish he would, I wish he would have died. I think my higher self can know the thoughts of people's mind, and that's something that I would love to know. If I was to enter into everyone's brains about what they were actually thinking about the thought of Donald Trump almost being assassinated, how many of them were actually thinking, I wish he would have scored. I think whatever the result is, it doesn't matter. It's not going to, it doesn't mean that I don't like Trump. But I feel like maybe my higher self did it just to see to test the people, to see what they're thinking, to see what they're knowing. One of the thoughts that came into my mind yesterday was that I think, does the president of Russia know about me? Have they, have they believed and stuff? Are they setting up this sort of test in their country? I don't know. I know Russia's probably one of the ones that are more against the West than most. I mean, I feel like because of this link that I made with Mohammed Guy and the Saudi Arabian prince, I feel like I might have, even though the Islamic people seem to hate the West, I feel like they now might see that actually we're all the same thing, and there's where you're born. Technically, if your soul rests in the sun, then when you come back, the sun isn't going to care if you're on the opposite side of the world when you come back. And therefore you should see the planet as being your planet rather than, this is my country, I'm defending my country, because if you die, you can become a different country. If you're just building up a big army and you're just trying to set against other people, well, how do you know that you're not going to be the next one to be killed in whatever way, and then come back in the country that you were setting the army against, and hence you've just cursed your future self. So I feel like that's something I would want to say to all people, and I don't know if the Russian president knows. I feel like he does, though. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I used to think that the Vatican knew a couple of years, about 7 years ago, and I don't think is that the truth? Is it the truth now? I have no clue. I feel like when it comes to trying to figure these things out, I would tend to believe whatever I want to believe rather than what the truth is. And when it comes to that, I feel like sometimes it's better to believe, like I had that girl on my Facebook page, but I wanted to believe that she was just, she was on my Facebook page friend list because she believed, or because she was taking an interest, or something like this, And that turned out that I don't think it is the truth now, because from the Christian post she was posting, it was clear that she wasn't taking an interest, and therefore sometimes I feel like I can believe something that's not the truth just because it makes me feel comfortable or feel much better. It makes me feel happier. So yeah, I don't always know things, but I know that I feel like this was done deliberate. I feel like there's enough signs. The fact that the person who died looks like the angel of the bullet, and And Donald Trump was hit by a bullet, and the fact that it was in the same country of the Angel of the Witch, where she was born, and the Angel of the Quiet People. God is a quiet person, but so are the snipers. But just because that is might have been a setup, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. You shouldn't. If you're doing rallies, I think you should always have security and have them watch out for people that might be holding guns or um, just because that might have been a setup, that doesn't mean it won't happen again. It won't be of my accord, but I don't know. I just things happen for a reason. But I know that if a lot of people want something to happen, it's more likely to happen, and therefore, if something bad does happen to, I don't know, I did one of the other presidents die? Kennedy died. Um, I don't see anything wrong with him. I don't know anything about him, but if a lot of people wanted something to happen, um, then it could be a matter of time before it does happen because that's what they want. And if you can't control the people that want bad stuff, then if you can't control them, well, then they'll just do whatever they want. So you should always take precaution, definitely. Um, and he did die. So I think if there are any other snipers out there, I'm sure they would not want to die either. So, or they won't see the point in killing someone for the sake of losing their own life, So, um, but but yeah, I'm just thinking of that dream that I had last night. It was horrible, but it was okay because I don't my kitchen's shit. But yeah, if someone breaks into your house and steals stuff, you don't like them taking the kitchen sink is the last thing you would imagine them take. So I was just thinking how funny it was. First, it was like there's something missing. Like there was something here. I can't remember what it was. It was actually a big cabinet, but for some reason I'd forgotten. I thought it was a fridge, and I thought they'd stolen my fridge. And the first thought was, oh, my food, my food, my food's gone. And then I was like, oh no, no, my fridge is usually over here. And it's like, oh no, the fridge is still there, but there's still something missing. I can't figure out what it was. And it was a big cabinet. And then I went away, and then I came because to work out like what has happened to see if there's anyone else in the house, and I came back and that was missing, and not only was that missing, but the the tabletop was taken, and the microwave, and just all the cabinets, and the hob as well. There's like a hob oven thing that was all taken, and then I was just like, there's definitely someone stealing stuff from my house. And then I went back, and I went away to see someone, and I was trying to like lock the door. I did lock the door, but there was two people. It turned out the second time I went out, I went to go and lock the door to stop the other people from coming out. And I went back into the kitchen, noticed that the kitchen sink was missing. And then I was like, right, I'm going to call the police. So I went in the other room to go get my phone. And then I came back, but I couldn't enter the door because it turned out that someone had maybe jumped in through the window and had now locked the door. And I was just like, shit. And then I was thinking, well, I suppose it doesn't really matter if they take the kitchen because it's kind of an old kitchen. The cupboards are a bit the doors are a little bit wonky, and there's a little bit of sort of mold or rust in them. They're not things you would want to take. And then I'm just thinking about how funny it is now, just thinking that robbers don't usually take the kitchen sink when they rob somewhere. The fact that they were taking that and like moldy cupboards and just things that I probably needed to replace. That they're not that moldy. There's one of them that's particularly. There is one that has quite a lot of that had mold in the corner, and I took the backboard out. But I never actually put I didn't put a new backboard in, so it probably needed a new one. The other side's not that bad, but it's a kind of an oldish kitchen. It's not something you would take, but it's just a bit funny.